Good to be with you. I'm glad that you join us for these meditations. I enjoy putting them together for you as I think and meditate on those passages as I prepare for sermons. It's good to share them with you as I'm going through that process. So we're winding down, at least in the Christian church year. We have 2 Sundays left in this year before we start Advent, which is a new Christian year. And so as we come towards the end of this year, we're still in Luke and we're still in the temple, if you might recall from last week. Jesus and his disciples have made their way to Jerusalem. They're in the temple and time is coming near. And so in this lectionary reading for this week, which comes out of the 21st chapter of Luke, Jesus and the disciples are in the temple, and the disciples are looking around. Okay? And they're noticing the grandeur and the majesty of, of the temple. And they tell Jesus, look how large these stones are. Isn't this a magnificent place? And Jesus tells them, even this is going to come down. Even this does not last forever. And so the disciples, somewhat perplexed, ask Jesus, then, what are the signs, right? When is it going to happen? It's something we always ask, right? And we ask that because we're always more interested in endings than we are in beginnings. Why is that? Why are we more concerned with what God ends instead of what God begins? Well, part of Jesus' response to the disciples there is he questions what they're putting their trust in. They're putting their trust in something they see, something they feel, something they hear. They put their trust, their security in something a political power has built. Herod was responsible for the grandeur, the majesty of the temple. Herod, while he might have been Jewish, was more of a politician than he ever was a priest. So it was the political power that built the temple. Jesus, in a way, is telling the disciples, that's not the security that you need to trust in. U2. I don't know if you know the rock group U2. Bono is their lead singer. And I don't remember the song off the top of my head, but part of one of the lyrics is a vision over visibility. Vision over visibility. What that seems to say to me, and what I hear Jesus telling the disciples, is you need to see beyond what you see. You need to place your security in things that aren't necessarily what you can feel and touch. But you need to place your trust something beyond yourself, something beyond this world. Now Jesus, in Jesus' best self, he does not really answer the disciples' questions of when and where and how. He generally never does. Because the most important question we can always ask is who? Who do we trust? With who does our vision lie? With who do we walk? And we could go on with this theme of new beginnings, because God is always, and we read this in the scriptures all the time, right? God is always pulling God's people into the future. God always has plans. God always has promises. But here are God's peoples grasping and holding so tight to the past. So again, from Jesus to his disciples, what is it do you trust? Do you believe more in endings, or do you believe more in beginnings? It's tough, right? We like our traditions. We like what we see. We like what we hold. Those things we can believe in. Those things we hold on to. But if we could just trust a little bit, if we can have a vision over visibility, we might see that God has great, great plans for us. We're also in Isaiah this week. Isaiah is putting out a vision for God's people in Isaiah's time. You probably remember it. It's where the ox and the lion eat together. Child lays down with the snake. That's a beginning. It's a beginning I look forward to. But it's also a beginning that I can only experience if I let go of the past. Again, lots to think about. We'll see you next time.